Hello and welcome everyone. So I'm going to do a video here on basically sugar in what a lot of people have the misconception of as fruit. And I'm going to explain the difference here, so please watch the whole entire video so you'll understand and you'll be a little more not only enlightened, but you'll be a lot more knowledgeable when it comes to not only consuming whole fruits, but understanding why they're going to be a lot more beneficial. So let's go ahead. So everyone knows what dried fruit is. I've mentioned in many of my recent videos to avoid dried fruit. I went down this road several years ago, and I know the effects that dried fruit will have on the body, not in a positive way. Fresh fruit, completely different. Now, what's misleading about this is they're using the word sugar. And this is very true about dried fruit because a lot of dried fruit has added sugar. See, that's the difference. They're using real sugar to make it even sweeter, so you buy it. Fresh fruit has fructose, but a lot of people call it sugar. So here it's very misleading. People think, well, sugar causes diabetes. Look at all this sugar the fruit has. Look at the sugar. But here's the difference. This in its whole form doesn't have any sugar. Sugar is man-made. Sugar doesn't exist in nature. It can convert to sugar in the body, but the body and the brain also runs on sugar, or it could run on fat, whichever one. That's why people can go on those, all meat diets, because they're choosing to run on a different source. The best one is to run on living fruits. I know this firsthand. As I mentioned before, if I eat just meat for 2 days, I feel the difference, and I know my body does too, and I don't like it. So I immediately will go back to what makes me feel the best and how my body is supposed to run. So our bodies are very efficient on whole fruits and living foods, not on dried. Okay, so let me show you some more examples here. So here's sugar, as I just mentioned. Sugar is man-made. It's a crystalline substance obtained from various plants, especially cane sugar and sugar beet, consisting of essentially of sucrose, and used as a sweetener in food and drink. So there you go. Now, look at this key word here, sucrose. So fructose and sucrose are two completely different animals. So everyone knows this as sugar, right? The white kind of really sweet substance that people were used to putting in everything, or it is in everything. You see all this out there. There's teaspoons of sugar in this. There's teaspoons of sugar in soda. There's so many teaspoons, and whatever else it is, baked goods. But they're talking about, remember, sucrose being man-made from cane sugar and sugar beets. Sugar beets are pretty much genetically modified. So is sugar cane, but cane sugar is a little different, but it's still all unnatural. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Fructose, and this is again a type of sweetness, but it's in nature, because when nature, there's fiber, there's all these phytonutrients, there's everything else in it that our body knows what to do with that particular source of sweetness in nature. Now let's say you take the dried fruit, for example, as I explained before. And you take one of these dried fruits and you already have dehydrated the water out of the fruit, so now the fruit is not going to be nearly as hydrating as it would be even with a banana. But when you take everything out of the banana as far as the water and the moisture, now the banana is dry usually people add what? More sugar to make it sweeter, so you'll want to eat it. If anyone has ever had these dried banana chips, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've had them. There's not even a comparison. So if you're eating a fresh banana that's ripe with some spots on it versus this, which one do you think is going to help you heal? Obviously the banana. This one is going to hold you back. Okay? So again, I really want people to understand that when you get into fructose, this is what's happening. So, fructose is real, living, whole, fresh fruits. Not juice. Remember, I've talked about this in other videos. I'll leave the link below this. Where when you have juice, you're separating the fiber and the fructose, hence making another type of sugar. You might be wondering, but James, it's juice. It's good for you. Well, if you keep drinking it, find out what happens. If you did it for a short time, that's one thing. But do I suggest anyone to drink any type of sugar water, whether it's natural or not? I don't. So if you want to create sugar, you're going to get the effects. And you're also going to lose weight because this is just liquid. And I've done many videos on this. You gotta watch the videos. I live on a 100% fruit diet, and I'm fine. I eat about 7.2 pounds of fruit per day, and I weigh it every day, so I know what I eat, and that's where I function the best, with only 5 different fruits. And that has been in my recent videos. I'll leave a link below this video with that too. So, you might be wondering, well, James, I heard that hybrid fruits are genetically modified. Well, of course, somebody that doesn't know anything about health and it's not their expertise will listen to what other people say. That's just a fact. That's been around since the test of time. And whatever you consider to be food and myself is a different ballgame, because what I put in my body I know works. What you put in your body is up to you. So it doesn't affect my body at all. It will affect you and your body. And this is just being blunt and honest. If you think that a hybrid fruit is bad for you, then I don't know how you're going to eat any type of fruit in today's society, considering that almost everything is a hybrid. And does that mean it's bad? No. Just because someone comes out and says that, they also promote grains and all these other things that are unhealthy for the body. So there's a misconception. And there's many people that do it. It's not just one. So hybrid fruits are created through controlled speciation of fruits that creates new varieties and crossbreeds. Okay? Hybrids are grown using plant propagation to create new cultivars. And this may introduce an entirely new type of fruit or improve properties of an existing fruit. So that's not genetically modified. See, genetically modified, most frozen and fruits and vegetables are non-GMO unless they are or contain one of these high-risk crops. Corn, papaya, cotton, sugar, beets, soy, which is soybeans, canola, cotton, zucchini, I don't know why I keep mentioning cotton, and yellow summer squash. So these are made basically in what's called frankenfruits or frankenfoods. These need to be avoided. This is in almost every single processed food. Ever heard of cottonseed oil? That's genetically modified. Hydrogenated is what it usually is, which is even worse. Can't figure out why they have heart disease. Well, these two, I guarantee you, are just one large risk factor. So is this. This is not good for you. It's a grain. It's genetically modified. It's one of the first ones that happened. Papaya I don't even eat. I don't like them anyways. If you want to eat them, look for organic. Sugar beets, again, I mentioned this earlier in the video, don't eat them. It's very simple. Soy, why do you want it anyways? There's nothing beneficial about soy, especially now that it's genetically modified. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say soy is great for you. Well, then you eat soy. That's fine. There's a lot more for you then. You can consume the soy. Whoever wants to consume it, you can consume any one of these foods if you want. But when your body never heals, or you continue to go on that downward spiral, you'll know why. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what fruits are hybrids. So some common hybrid fruits are seedless apples. I mean, of course, there's seedless grapes, bananas, several date varieties, dates. I love the medjool dates. Again, I just mentioned grapes. You got pretty much all the great fruits that are going to help you, except for corn, which is garbage. Carrots are not really necessary. I mean, they're not harmful. Potatoes I would rarely eat anyways. That's in the nightshade family. I would avoid onions, potatoes. I mentioned this before. Garlic. If you don't want to heal, peppers, all that stuff. If you don't want to heal, then eat those foods. You'll find out nothing will ever happen. Those are not healing foods at all. So you need fresh, ripe, sweet fruits. Is an apple okay? Sure, if you did one. A few bananas, I do, maybe 3 a day. Those are fine. Dates are great. I eat a ton of those. They help, fill you up. It can be any type of date. Doesn't have to be this medjool. Kiwis. I'm not a huge fan of pineapples just because they're very acidic and cause a lot of people pain. But it's not the fruit. It's them that has the pain, and this will bring it out. So I don't suggest citrus at all when you start healing. Zero. If you eat the citrus and you're in pain, you know why. I've mentioned this in other videos. Avoid it. Alright. Sweet fruits are a whole different ballgame. So, even the dragon fruit is going to be the purple fleshed one, which I love. They're specialty fruits. They're not hybrids, but they're still a mix of tropical, hybrid, specialty fruits, not just tropical and hybrid fruits. So that's probably one of the best fruits in the world. I'll even put it above berries. Berries are very, very close second. Blackberries are what I'm talking about because of the power that dragon fruit has. And of course there's 3 types, but just the purple one and even the white one are going to be very, very, very beneficial. So I was trying to show you guys a photo there, but I'll just type it in so everyone knows. So again, these are all going to be beneficial. So there's the dragon fruit. That's what it looks like. This is the way I buy it, and it's just amazing. But again, it's part of a hybrid as well. But the benefits inside are phenomenal. Blackberries, as I mentioned before, last point here, blackberries hybrid. Let's see, I don't believe that blackberries are hybrid. But they're not wild blackberries, so they actually could be. And in my opinion, they actually may be. Because normal blackberries, wild in nature, are different. However, they still work. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. So, you could heal on all non-organic, non-GMO. There is a difference. I mentioned the genetically modified foods. Non-GMO fruits. They all can be hybrid. It doesn't matter. You will still heal. Especially if you throw in the intermittent fasting. Alright, any questions, go ahead and let me know. And I'll keep doing future videos. And that's really the main point I really want to let everyone know and emphasize. You leave a comment, a video idea, I will put that in my rotation list and do a video about it as well. Thank you so much, folks. Bye-bye.